No, fantastic question, Hoshi. First of all, thank you very much for having me. Love to be here. And then when you talk about spend management, you rightly said it. It's a very big area for SAP. There's a lot of investment going into the spend management portfolio as such from SAP. Now, if you look at it post-integration, the area becomes pretty vast for us. And being a spend management professional for quite many number of years now, we are basically touching every facet of the CXO. So if you look at it, we are touching the CIO. Of course, he remains at the center, when it comes to a technology bit. We are touching the CFO, from a finance perspective. We are speaking to the CPO, the chief of supply chain as well, the chief of procurement. And now, one thing which gets added is the ESG side of it, the sustainability bit, which is getting added. And a lot of companies are hiring a lot of sustainability people. So that is also an area which is getting covered. Now, if you look at it post-amalgamation or post-integration, like the way you're calling it as, we are addressing a lot of issues basically for our customers, ranging from a very wide network of, let's say, how do we get you supply chain resiliency? So for an example, if a material starts from a place X, it's going to reach place Y. Do you know how to track and trace? Or for that matter, will it reach in time? Now, technology can give you that output. We are also talking about the sustainability perspective, let's say from an ESG. So if you are traveling, are you doing sustainable travel? And what kind of, footprint you have for your organization as an individual? How much I am contributing to it? Have I saved some trees? If I'm traveling economy or a business class for that matter, or probably how can I contribute to that? Or if you look at the talent marketplace, a very big area now. I read it 2 days ago in ET saying that in the consumer space, the contingent labor force, the topic is going to take a leap, and there's going to be a 40% addition to the contingent labor force. Now, that's a big area. Now, how are you managing it? So how is the talent marketplace getting managed? For example, if I have 100,000 CVs in my database, on a click of a button, I can find out today if that CV is the best for me, or there's another CV which is better for me. But can technology do it for me in less than 10 seconds? That's what we are looking at. And for that matter, when I look at the CFO, another big problem lying on his table because of the volatility in the economy right now is saying, can I do better working capital management? And that's where also we are coming out with a lot of industry best practices, and how can I help you? For example, if a company gives me a problem, give me 1,000 crore rupees working capital free in the next 6 months. Can you achieve that for me? Because then I can use that money, invest it somewhere. That is something we are achieving with our banking partners as well. And I think this is how the whole area of spend management is taking shape. So I think after the amalgamation, the spectrum is huge now, and that's how SAP has been helping its customers going out in the market and setting better standards for them. I mean, a very fair question. So if you look at the market dynamics, it's been changing a lot in the last 3 to 4 years. And I remember I was discussing with a few customers, in fact my wife last night, and we said COVID has gone away. Suddenly we hear that the next wave is coming up. It's ever changing, and therefore the customers are facing a lot of issues. For example, can you tell me how many of your suppliers are going to be bankrupt in the next 6 months? Now that's a very difficult question. Can you tell me if your supplier is associated in child labor? Can you tell me if I can be proactive on the category insights of my company? Or for that matter, can you tell me I am worried as a CXO, as an organization, that my employee is traveling from a place X to a place Y, and when he goes from a place X to place Y, is place Y safe enough? Are we getting him a hotel in the right location? Are we getting him a safe environment to stay, wherein I'm not expecting any hindrance probably the next day because that person needs to go out? So technology is doing it all for us as of today. And that's where SAP has, like you asked, earlier, the amalgamation of integrated concept of spend management is getting back, on the table. And then the spectrum has been pretty wide for us. So the customers are asking us multiple questions, and with the help of SAP solutions, in fact, AI ML built in, we are helping them achieve a lot of goals. No, I think a very fair question, Hoshi, and very happy to share that we have helped numerous of our customers, running into hundreds and thousands of customers globally, help them. But I'm very happy to speak about one of the customers, a very big electronic major in India. They're a global MNC. They basically were doing all their travel and expense manually. So what would happen is I, as an employee, would go in, fill up a sheet of a paper, and then would pass it on to the travel desk, or let's say the travel would be booked. And when I come back, I would basically give them an invoice, or let's say a bill, to say, can you please reimburse me? Now, what are the new cents which are involved with it is the company has no idea, the CFO has no idea how much is the working capital going to go out, or let's say for that matter, there's no idea on if the compliance is happening or the policy adherence is there. And for the employee, it's a problem because he has no idea or she has no idea where my bills are. Are they on track? Will I get the money in 1 week or in 3 weeks or in a month? So all of that was a problem. And the company then decided to talk to us and say, can you please look into this area and automate the whole travel and expense piece for us? That's where the SAP Concur got involved. And we could turn around this very quickly. One great point was, it was integrated with backend SAP ERP and the SAP success factors, as well. Now, what it does is, SAP success factors would pick up the employee profiles, and SAP ERP would give you the financial data, which would come in, let's say, from a budgeting standpoint, and policy adherence and whatnot. And then the person who wants to travel or who wants to submit an expense report, I can even travel on the go. I can submit it through a mobile app, which comes native with the solution. And once that happens, the CFO also gets a clear insight of, let's say, this is going to be my cash flow. Or for example, the policies are getting adhered to. Or for that matter, is it helping the company because the policies are meant to help the employee and the company as well. And I get a real-time data. And that's how the CFO would look into this. So, even if a person moves out of the organization because it was integrated with success factors, the new people profile would eventually get in automatically. So it was a complete touchless solution which we developed for them. And as an advantage, you would see the reimbursement cycles, they got shortened by 30%. There was an operational efficiency improvement of around 50%. And that's how the customer got benefited. An employee got a wonderful user experience. Either it is with the help of a mobile app or getting the reimbursements in time. Like I said, it's ever changing, and the customers are also looking back to us in order to say, what are the new ways of cost savings? Your solution helps us to cost save, but what are those new ways of doing it? If you look at SEBI's guideline, it says that you are going to give me a quarterly result. What about your green line also? So if you want to be in the mid-market cap, you want to get traded on Sensex and Nifty, you have to submit your green line report as well. You have to give your sustainability criteria, your goals, how you're achieving them. The companies are also asking us, the concept of connected machines. If a machine goes under breakdown, the second machine can it interact with the first machine to say, why did it happen to you? And the first machine can actually get it done with the second machine in collaboration, or the business network part of it, wherein I get TSS, transparency into my supplier base. I know my immediate supplier, but what about his supplier or his supplier? That's where I don't have a lot of visibility. So blockchain solutions, to completely track the genomics. On the consumer business side of it, a very big area, is another issue. Or probably on the travel and expense, even if you look at it, as an individual, how can I take a responsibility to add to my company's ESG goals by expensing or traveling meaningfully, or with the help of sustainability at the core of it? And all these questions are getting asked. So if you ask me, in the next 18 months, there's a lot of innovations which are going to happen in the SAP portfolio. In fact, I'm very happy to tell you that just 2 days ago, our global CEO, Christian Klein, he declared a new innovation which is coming out in the form of sustainability index, or let's say an exchange, which is going to be between the buyers and suppliers, or people who are traveling. So we are going to give a lot of AI ML support as well in such areas. And our recent announcement again with Microsoft on generative AI, and that's an area wherein we are going to be innovating a lot on the spend management portfolio of it, to help our customers do what exactly is required for their business.